controller can only mean one thing. We're playing the Atari 2600 Junior. On today's episode, we're playing Q*bert for the Atari 2600. And Q*bert released in 1983 for the Atari 2600. It was ported from the arcade version, which released in 1982. And as you can see here, this is the Atari Red Label version of Q*bert, and I guess there is also a Parker Brothers version. I guess the Red Label version may be slightly more rare. I'm not exactly sure how much more rare it is, but as you can see here, it has a red label and it has Q*bert right there in the center. It's really nice label art, as you can see right there. It's basically the same as the Parker Brothers version, and down on the bottom it says 2600 version. 1983 Parker Brothers division of Kenner Parker's Toys, Q*bert trademark of Atari under sublicense from JVW Electronics. So I'm guessing that this game re-released in 1988. That was around when the 7800 existed. And up at the very top you see Atari 2600 video game cartridge, so there's nothing really too fancy there. And on the end label it says Q*bert Atari 2600. And there's nothing really fancy there, but they definitely wanted to make it very clear that this was the 2600 version of this game. So I'm pretty sure that this was this released like way after the 5200 and the 7800 existed. Now the whole concept of Q*bert is that you control a little creature called Q*bert, as you can see there on the label. You have to bounce across about 28 cubes or boxes, and you have to avoid enemies, because if you get hit by enemies you die. Now interestingly enough, this card right here is a gentleman that goes by the name George Lutz, and he happens to hold the highest score for Q*bert for the arcade version, 37,163,080 points. That's a lot of points. And I actually met him personally. I got this card from him personally, from where I used to work, and he's from the New York area, and so am I. As you can see, that's what the back of the card looks like. It's a Twin Galaxy card. Only 260 cards exist. And the reason why I sparked up a conversation with this guy was because he was wearing an Activision shirt. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm a fan of Atari and Activision. I love River Raid. And that's when I found out that he was the highest score in Q*bert. It's pretty awesome. So let's pop Q*bert into the Atari 2600 Junior. Let's play Q*bert on the Atari 2600. Of course, it doesn't want to work. This game has never given me any problems. As soon as I want to record, there we go. And we see we have Q*bert on the Atari 2600 working. And we'll see if we can get the controller here. It's a little tangled up. I've got to fix this mess I have. Alright, so there we have Q*bert. And it looks just like Q*bert, as you can see there, in a very Atari 2600 form. It's not quite as pretty as the arcade version, but it's passable. You gotta figure out which way to hold this controller. Now immediately when you turn the game on, the game is already started, so you don't hit the restart button, unfortunately. You just have to immediately play as soon as you turn the game on. And I've streamed this game a couple of times on the live stream. And yeah, this is Q*bert. Look at this. It actually looks very impressive for the 2600. As you can see there, I already won. Let me see if I can see it right here. So you guys can see the controller right here. Just a little first-person view. Oh my god, he got me. What the hell is that? Oh, I jumped off. I killed myself. What the hell? Let's see if we can jump over here. Yeah, so those are those little creatures things you have to pretty much avoid. Now you can see there when you hit them, Q*bert actually swears. He actually has that quotation, question marks, and all that stuff. That's him swearing. He's really pissed off. You have to hold the controller like this, like diagonally diamond shape, I guess, with the button facing towards the top. So it makes it a lot easier to play. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Now keep in mind that George Lutz scored 37 million points. Look at that. I can barely score a couple thousand points. Well, actually, no. I'm almost up to 4,000 points here. Oh, what the hell? And when it turns gray like that, that means you're pretty much in Schitt's Creek. You're game over. So now, what we have to do is start the game over. This time I'm going to zoom in right here. Let's try this out. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're starting over. I wonder if there's black and white mode on this game. Nope. No black and white mode. Let's try not to die here. Oh! This is not the easiest game in the world. Although, it's quite fun. So let's see if we can avoid these enemies, because these enemies will... Damn! Look at that. Now there's also these little lines on the side of the screen over here. You can see it right there. You can actually jump on that. Just to give you an example. There we go. I jumped on it. And the keyboard is flying all the way to the top of the pyramid. The keyboard pyramid. Alright, let's see if we can make it to the end here. I have no idea what the hell is going on. What the hell is that? Oh, I forgot. I have a few more boxes I have to jump on over here. Alright, so we're going on to the third level here. Hey, as each level progresses, it gets harder and harder. So you have to be like real careful. Which is quite obvious in most Atari games. So you have to be prepared. You can see right there I advanced. There's not really too many bad things to say about this game. This game is actually pretty good. And for the 2600, this is fantastic. I scored 11,300 points. That's not really that good. That's the only bad thing I can say about this game is my score. My score sucks. Let's try it again. Now this was the Red Label version of the game. So this game released, I guess it re-released in 1988. According to what I see on the label. That's what the copyright says. I'm not exactly certain exactly when most of these games were released. I have to do a lot of research to try to figure that out. But I guess it originally released in '83 for the Parker Brothers version of the game. Which the cartridge looks slightly different mold. But yeah, this specific version of the game came out when the 7800 already existed, so they made it pretty blatant on the label, like huge letters that this is the 2600 version. They wanted to make sure that you really know that you're getting the 2600 version of this game. I'm not even sure if there is a 7800 version of the game, or 5200. There probably is. I wouldn't doubt it. The game is quite popular. And I must say that, despite the graphics, I mean, the 2600 version holds up quite well. And to be honest, the controller handles quite well in this game. You just hold it just like that, and it holds up quite well. I know a lot of Atari 2600 gamers nowadays use the Sega Genesis controller, which that's good. But I think this game probably plays better on the original controller, because you can actually hold it like it's a cube. Man, how do you like that? I believe that we are on what is this? Oh yeah, on this specific level right here, you have to jump on the boxes more than once, like twice. They have like several different shades of green. Or yellow to green, you have to make sure they all turn green. So yeah, the level is getting harder. Oh, what the hell? I have not said what the hell is that yet, but I'm about to say it. This game is quite the treat on the 2600. What the hell was that? Alright, let's see if we can, Oh, we're starting over at the beginning. Oh, yeah, now I can say what the hell is that. What the hell? Damn, I was at the, I believe, the 4th level. Yeah, so this is definitely a... I don't know if you would consider it a hidden gem or not, but it's definitely a plus for the Atari 2600. It's a pretty awesome game. It's a must-have. It's not really too expensive to get hold of either. If you get the Parker Brother version, it's like maybe $3 or $4. And I got the Red Label version in the batch of games that I originally got, which consisted of probably like 60 or 70 games. It was a lot of games, so I really had no idea half the games I had. I just went through them all, and this happened to be one of the games that was in the batch. And there is still a few more games to come. I'm trying to collect all the Sega Atari 2600 games, and I recently got my hand on, as of this morning, Spy Hunter. And I had to negotiate for that game, because that game goes for a lot of freaking money, so I got the price knocked down quite a bit. So we'll see what happens there. I just have to wait for it to come in, do a little bit of a cleanup on it. And then eventually, once I get hold of all the Sega games, I'm going to be doing an unboxing episode on all of those games all together. Oh, what the hell was that? I killed myself. Alright, so yeah, this is Q-Bird on the Atari 2600. And I'm playing this on the 2600 Junior. If you enjoyed this episode of 2600, if you enjoyed this episode of Memory Lane, sorry about that, I just had a brain fart. Please give a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below. And my mind's a little wrapped up in Q-Bird right now, can't even talk. And yeah, I'm gonna continue playing this for quite a while here, and stay tuned for the next episode of Memory Lane, because I'm having a little bit too much fun playing this, and I gotta focus.